Alright, today we start with a new blank document to demonstrate something called fillable forms. Why we would like to create a fillable form would be for the reason of capturing information. So the idea is I might create a form that represents a regular paper-based form that is intended for someone to fill out. And I want to email this form to someone and let them, fill it out, save that document, and then send it back to me. All right, it can be used for things like registrations and so on and so forth. So, without further ado, without giving too much of a wordy explanation, let's get started. So, I'm going to be showing a few things that might be helpful in terms of keeping your form formatable. So, even though it not requires when I create a table, about so much, and I just want to put some fields that I might need to require for registration. So just put some stuff there. Name colon date of birth, gender probably. Actually, this is sex and Trinidad and Tobago. So date of birth, sex. And what else could we have here? Region. And clubs. Like we say we have clubs in school, different clubs that somebody could actually be in. So I'm just gonna format this table. I'm gonna change the column list to look like something like this here. And normally, if I could send this out to a recipient and I can expect them to fill out stuff inside here. But sometimes, I might want to restrict what they could enter by using certain fields. All right, so I'm going to show how to start inserting those fields. The first thing we're going to have to do would be to enable something called the developer toolbar or the developer ribbon menu item. To do that, I'm going to click on File. I'm going to go to Options, which is at the bottom over here. If I go to Customize Ribbon, on the right hand side where you see my mouse over here, I want to add the developer toolbar, so I'll check it. So it becomes a tab over here. Alright, and now wherever my insertion point is, I should have probably zoomed this out a little bit before. Wherever my insertion point is, I would like to insert these input controls meant to capture data from the user. So I'm on the developer toolbar right now. I think the first control I want to put inside here will be a text box control. Now the controls can be found from the control grouping that you see over here. There are icons for it. I don't want a rich text control. I want to have a plain text control. And there you go. Straight out of the box I have it right here for use. So I could, when the user opens the document, they're going to see something like this. And now they could type, that kind of stuff. That's my name, by the way. So I added that text box control. The other controls that we're actually interested in would be checkboxes and whatnot. But let's see what we could put for the date of birth. There's a date picker control. That's right over here. I can just go ahead and click on that. So it is going to be inserted at the insertion point. So now someone can click this drop down over here and select a particular date. They could scroll through to enter a certain date. If they'd like, they could edit it quite easily using text here. Sometimes it might be hard to scroll back years. So you might do like 1970 or something like that. That's a real back in time date. That kind of stuff. So yeah, so essentially you have a date picker control. Alright, I just undid everything just to get back to this point over here. Now, if I go to sex, I want to have sex to be either male or female, but not both, right? So in this case, I don't want to put checkboxes. I want to put a radio control. So if you select M for male, female is deselected. So let's see how we can go ahead and do that right now. So to do this, the radio button control is not enabled. I should say enabled. It is there, but it's called a legacy control. It's a control that was used in earlier versions of Microsoft Word. So to get to that control, you're going to click from the legacy tools drop down over here and choose this ActiveX control here, option button. So I'm just going to add to it because I know I want to have male and female. So I'm going to click on this option button here, and you're going to notice something a little bit different right now. You're going to notice the interface change a little bit. That's because we have entered design mode immediately after we have added the radio button ActiveX control. I'm going to press enter over here, and then I'm going to put another one because I want to have both of them for use. So if I insert the second one, I'm still in design mode, but I have two radio buttons that I can have over here. Now I'm going to just turn off design mode. And this is what the document gonna look like when we send it to someone. And they can select option button 1 only. If they try to select option button 2, you would notice that option button 1 becomes deselected. Now, it goes without saying that I would want to change the label that I see there. I would like to see male and female. You know, you know what? I could probably add a next one here. Just demonstrate this real quick. So let's go back to over here. Go back into design mode. Press enter, let's make some space and insert a third one for another option. So let's come back with the design mode. So we were over here, and what we like to do is to change the label in here. So I'm just gonna put to do that I would have to go back into design mode and then view the properties of this option here. So if I could to get to that, I can right click and choose properties. That's one way, and then this is a little bit, the view a little bit small, so let's magnify this a little bit. What I'm looking for here, it's not the properties of the document. I should right click on the button, choose properties, then oh man, on properties of the document, I just have to click this drop down over here to get to the option button 1. So let me just go to option button 1. And what we're really looking for here is a caption. So the caption is option button 1. I'm just going to change that to male. Alright. If I zoom back out and I close this, I'll see the first option is now male. Now if I wanted to get to the properties of the second button, I could, once again, I select right click and choose go on properties. And for, in this case, you would see the properties option button 2. You can also, once it's selected, you can also go over here by the controls group here. Once you're in design mode, you can choose properties and then change it to female. So that would be the caption we would like to change. So I'm looking for make sure I'm option button 2, right? I'm looking for the caption here, which was already selected, female. And then I'm going to close this. See, I have it named as female. And the third option, which you've all been waiting for. I'll click on the properties for that. Make sure on option button 3. I'm going to change it to rather not say. Zoom that back. Rather not. Oh my bad. I think when I zoomed there, I got things a little bit out. Let's press undo on the keyboard. Right click. So just got the properties. Click from over here. I think the window disappeared. The window went to the bottom left hand corner over here. That was weird, but I guess it's good that it happened in context of this video. I want to see how I could make this thing. So what I did there was with the window selected, press Alt and space, and then choose restore to restore the window. All right, so I'm gonna change this to rather not say. Dot dot dot. Oops, that's commas. Dot dot dot. And there you have it. Now I have 3 option buttons, and if I come out of design mode, I could do this. I could select male, female, and then rather not say. All right. And notice that there's a little bit of overlap on that last option button over here. So what I want to do, I will go back into my design mode because I can't add any spaces around the control over there. So I'm going to press enter over here to add a new line. Come out of design mode, make sure that okay, cool. I'm happy with what happened so far. Okay, so the next thing I might want to add over here would be the region where someone is from. They could be from, in this case, in this example, north, south, east, or west Trinidad, or whatever region you're in. So I'm just gonna add a drop down list over here. So back under my controls group over here, I'm looking for combo box content control. I think they used to call it a drop down list before. Oh, this is a drop down list here, content control. I think they more or less do the same thing. Let me experiment with that and see what's going on over here. So combo box content control. If you click the drop down now, you won't see any items there. If you right click on it and we look for properties, we're not going to see properties because we're not in design mode. If you're in design mode and I right click on it, I could choose to go and see properties over here. Alright. Let me just demonstrate that again. If I right click, I won't see properties anymore here. So that's one way you can go back into design mode to get those properties. Or in this case, because this is a newer control, I can just make sure it's selected and just click on properties over here without having to go into design mode. I'll get that popping up for me. I'm just zooming here a little bit. What I'm interested in is just the drop down items over here. I can click on add. Put north, N-O-R-T-H. Have them display one value as the same thing. North, south, east, and the last one should be west. Alright, I'm going to click on OK now, and I click this drop down over here, I'm going to see how different items I could choose north, south, east, west. Alright, so far so good. I just undid everything, so I came back to unfilled form. Now, if I zoom back out over here, my bad. The last thing I would like to do is to choose some clubs that people might be in school here. So I just want to make things simple here. I just want to make about 3 clubs: cricket club, football club, and probably badminton. All right, I'm going to show you how to go ahead and do those using checkboxes. So to do that, I'm just going to put in the labels first. So cricket. Let's leave a space. Cricket, football. Let's leave a space. Badminton. If I spell that correctly. You know what? I should put them on separate lines. Make it look a little bit better. Alright, so we have this here, and I just want to put the checkboxes after. Actually, I should put them before, right? So I'll put main search and put in before cricket. Let's put a space and then the checkbox. A space here one time and a space here one time. So I'll insert the checkbox at the start of the line. So to do that, you're just going to click on this checkbox control right here. Boom. Move your cursor. Leave that space over there. Go back over here. Add this in. And if I, pay attention to what's going on here, I notice I have to select it or not select it. So this is my way of getting the user to fill in, a situation where you have some related items, but they could include one, only, zero, or all, any combination of the few that you have over there. Now, lastly, what I might like to do is to add a button so that when the user click on this button, Windows or whatever system you're on, it would open, your default email client to save and attach this document that you have over here, right? So to do that, what we could do is add a button and then add some code to it. I'm going to look at that right now. So what I'm going to do is just add some space here. Probably I shouldn't put it in the same line here. I could go to the next one. Probably like merge these cells over here. And then insert my button inside here. So I'm going to go for it. I think it's actually a legacy tool from the ActiveX controls over here. And I'll look around for button. There should be a command button over here. So when I click it, the button is going to show up like that. I could probably widen it a little bit. And then, I could probably center it by pressing Control E. Or I could go from home over here and change the alignment of the button itself within the table. So I put it in the center right now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click and choose View Code. Well, actually, you know what? I should probably change the properties of the button so that how we have the button saying something else. Just try to use my magnifier here to make this a little bit bigger. So the caption shouldn't be command button, man. It should be send, submit via email. Alright, and if I close this back here, I would see the button starting to look more like what I want it to look like. I should have put some space before it, put some space after it. All right, so I have it nice and in the center over here. Let's see what it's looking like. All right, so far so good. And what I could do now, I could right click on the button and choose properties. Sorry, not properties, I should choose view code. And when that happens, I would see a Visual Basic window pop up for me um, right now. So what I want to do is when this button is clicked and we actually in that function right now, I'm not trying to make you learn code here, right? But so you can just copy and paste this, so you could just use it directly off the bat. You're gonna put some code inside here. I'm gonna put options options. Should put capital options send mail attach. Equals true. On the next line, active document dot send mail. Not fax, mail, mail. All right, and that's it. So what I can do over here is you just go ahead and close this, close the Visual Basic window. Now, if we go to click on this button right now, nothing will happen because I do believe that we actually still in design mode that we can see here from the developer tab. All right, let's make this a little bit smaller. Well, zoom out here a little bit so you can see the entire form itself, right? So I can turn off design mode. I want to turn off design mode. I want to click on submit via email. My operating system prompts Microsoft Outlook. Now I don't have Outlook set up. Microsoft Outlook is my default mail client, and you know it would launch the email client for me to send this document. This document will be attached to the email client off for the bots. All right, so that's something you could experiment with. I should say experiment with. That's something that you could implement here. Yes. Just exiting my email client over here. All right, so you can go ahead and save this document. Just press Control Save, and let me just name this. Let's save it under here. Name this guy Fillable. Look for registration Fillable form. REGISTRATI. Registration Fillable form. I am going to notice that how you have to save it because I use the button over there. It doesn't save as a regular docx file type. It saves as a docm, which is a macro enabled document. So if I go ahead and click on save, I have this document here, and I can email this document to people. And when after they fill it out, they can go ahead and click on submit via email, and the filled information is going to be attached to their default mail client, and they can send it out quite easily. If they don't decide to do that, they can always just fill out the document and save it, and then manually email it without using submit via email. Alright folks, that is essentially everything that I needed to show you for creating a fillable form. This form is a little bit bland right now. There are lots of other things that you could do to make it look better. Like for example, I could you know, once I click on this table here, looking for the design, table design, I could change the style to something that looks cool. I guess that's not the best thing, but you know, you can experiment with some styles that actually look, you know, good for you. Let's try this one. Alright, you know, and other things you can do to enhance your fillable form, you know, adding your headers and footers and whatnot, and your logos for your company, keeping the table probably centered, things like that. Probably even adding, if I go to, where is it? Should it be on layouts? Oh, sorry, my bad. Design. Could add a watermark to my document. If this is the case, I could also, you know, pay attention to the page borders that I need to have in the document. Add a 3D page border with, let's make it thick. Things like that. I could change page color. I could add a fill effect in the background. So let's go texture. Choose something a little bit less invasive. And have the form look like. I actually don't like what it's looking like, but you know, I think again the idea the idea from making the document being more visually appealing to the eye. All right, but essentially what we need to do today was to look at how to create this fillable form document. All right, students, thanks for your time. I hope I didn't waste too much of your time, and I really hope that you skip through this video next time you're looking at it, just for your revision. That's all I have for you. Let me know if you have any feedback or anything, any questions. I'll be happy to answer them in class. All right, bye.